everyone, it's Matt Hughes. I have a special breakdown of a song for you today. This is Leave the Door Open by Silk Sonic, the one that came out last week, or whenever you're watching this. It may have come out 100 years ago by now. I sat down and listened through it a few times yesterday and tried to figure out what the heck was going on, because when I listened to it when it came out, I was like, there's more than one key change in this. So I listened to the bass part mostly and tried to take a few guesses. So this is my interpretation of it. I'm not a keyboardist, not yet at least, but learning a song like this has really taught me a lot, and hopefully you'll get something out of it too. So we're going to start at the intro, and I'll play through each section and kind of point out a few things. So at the intro, we have an F in the bass, and we have this kind of cool melody up top being played by a few layered instruments, I think. So we have this. And when you kind of start off, you don't really hear a chord progression a whole lot yet. But we kind of get an implication because we have this A, so F and A, just like an F major chord. But then when we go down to the G, it's sort of an F9 of some sort. And when we get to the verse, you'll hear that in a little bit more complexity. And, you kind of wonder, okay, well, the first note, what key are we in, right? So as we go, you may start to figure it out, but let's see before I just kind of blurt it out. So our first thing here, and then we come down, play an E, and then we do another melody that's sort of the answer to the first one. That's the whole intro already. Okay, now so far I've only used white keys. And if you're kind of learning about key centers and scales and stuff, you might have learned that all white keys on the piano is C major or A minor. In this case, that's exactly correct. So I'm going to consider this to be in C major, just to keep it as simple as possible. Okay, so if we're in C major, the first chord is actually the 4 chord. A lot of pop songs that are not nearly as adventurous as this also will start on the 4 chord. That's a good way to kind of not feel like you're too happy or too sad. If you start a song and go like, it's just like la, right? But if you start in minor with this A minor chord instead, it's very kind of like dark and brooding sounding. To me, at least, F major, or the 4 chord of whatever key you're in, kind of, it's ambiguous a little bit. And it's very cool, to use a kind of a not very helpful or practical term, but it means something, I guess. Okay, so after the intro, we start with Anderson Paak's vocals coming in, and he's starting on an E. What? So we go like F major 7 of some sort. Again, don't use this video to tell you exactly what the keyboard voicings are, because an F major 7 chord can be played a lot of different ways, right? With different extensions, and they all kind of serve the same purpose if you're kind of just putting the song together or using these chords to sort of show you something. So we have, what are you doing? Where you at? Oh, you got plans? So this chord here, in the intro, we had this implication that there was something different with this F chord with a G in that melody. What I'm doing now, and this is how I heard it, we have kind of a G major triad on the right hand of the piano, the higher part of the chord, with an F in the bass still. So we have these 2 F chords. First one's sort of a normal F major chord. The next one's what you could call a G major over F, which is what some people call slash chord. So the bass note and the chord don't seem to be kind of obviously related. But from a classical perspective, you could also call it an F sharp 11 because of this B here. These are very dissonant notes, but when you play them in this order and go, you kind of get a feeling of a chord change without a big, bass note root movement or anything like that. So we have those 2 chords, and then finally the bass moves, and the right hand doesn't change that much. Check this out. So if I'm playing this G triad here, and then with the bass note, the right hand doesn't necessarily have to change, because it's still 3 notes from E minor, E minor 7 if you want. And this would be the 3 chord of the key, because we're in C major, as I said. 3, right? Okay, and then finally our last chord we land, just like in the intro, on this A minor 7 or A minor, triad. Depends on what sound you like. For something that's kind of soul, I just add 7ths to everything. Not really always the right thing to do, but you can do it, and especially on minor chords, not going to make a big difference to like the impact of the chord. It just makes it sound kind of cooler, and for me, it sometimes makes it easier to play because my fingers just don't have to move as much. So the verse goes through that a few times, so I'll try to kind of do it. What you doing? Where you at? Oh, you got plans? Don't say that. I'm sipping wine in a robe. I look too good to be alone. My house clean, my pool warm, just shaved. And this lyric, by the way, smooth like a newborn. That's a great lyric. Really enjoyed that. I think that's my favorite part of the song. It's like the background vocal, and it's so clever. These guys always kill it with lyrics. We should be dancing, romancing in the East Wing. All right, now right here, very hard for me to play and sing this at the same time. I don't even think Anderson .Paak plays the keyboard and sings it anyway. He's playing drums, which is maybe harder. We have this little kind of turnaround or like building thing they do. Here's how I do it. And I saw this in like a gospel chords video a long time ago, where the right hand is playing a triad, so C major triad in this case, over this A minor. And the bass line, you'll hear the bassist do this. So it's kind of going up to C twice. And all you have to do in the right hand, really, to make it sound like they're achieving, is to go like this. So notice the G up here doesn't move, and it makes it a little bit easier. You have, like, I call it sometimes like an anchor note. Okay. All right. Now here's the first key change. Suddenly, for the pre-chorus, key change in a pre-chorus. I didn't know that was allowed, but it turns out it is if you're Bruno Mars. That's not the chord, though. This is the chord. Okay, so E flat major 7. So here's the relationship now. We were in C major, and we're jumping up to E flat major 7. For those of you who study a little bit of music theory or deal with key changes, you may notice that these two keys are both C root keys. One is major and one's minor. So the C major scale, we have this. We can keep 4 notes from that scale, C, D, F, and G. And then we just lower the E down to an E flat, the A down to an A flat, and the B down to a B flat, and we end up with C minor or E major. Same notes. Okay, so not a huge change. And if you want to hear a key change in an older song, A Whole New World in Aladdin, I think even that might be the same key, but I could be mistaken. But modulating up a minor third to a major key, a minor third up, is a not a crazy key change. So this is a kind of a safe one. There's a lot of the same notes, as I said. So, I ain't playing no games. Every word that I say is coming straight from the heart. So, new key, new melody. And to get back to the chorus, or to the original key, the C major key for the chorus, here's how they do it. Where are the lyrics here? So if you try to lay in these arms. That's a cool way to kind of jump back into a key. So they're using a G sus chord, which for me, a non-keyboardist, I just play a major 7th chord, a minor 7th above whatever my bass note is. So then they use this a lot in the song, this type of chord. So we have a G in the bass. Most of these notes are just the bassist playing, it sounds like. And then up a minor 7th would be an F, and then I just play an F major 7th chord. And you can play it whatever octave you want. I'm just saying minor 7th just as a interval, and not necessarily like a full distance. You're going to see this chord a lot, as I said. So enjoy how you can kind of put this anywhere you want, it seems like. Okay, so they're in A flat, starting on an A flat still. And so check this out. We have these thirds going down, walking, still in E flat major. And then when we go back up to the G, which is in both keys, this A flat turns into an A natural. And that's what tells us, oh, we're back to the original key on the 4 chord. All right? And now we're playing the chorus instead. And it's over the same exact chords. Okay, so I'm gonna leave the door open. I'm gonna leave the door open. I'm gonna leave the door open, girl. I'm gonna leave the door open. That you. Now we go back to the F again, but then with a build in this same chord we had before, that sus chord. That you feel the way I feel, and I want you to know it, baby. So that chord again. And we finally go to the 1 chord. Tell me that you're coming through. Still learning it. Let me do that again. Through. Most dissonant chord in the song is right here. This is a what we call a secondary dominant chord. A dominant chord with a flat 9 in it. It's also the 6th chord. So before we were playing the 6th chord just minor. Now we're doing it kind of with a raised 3rd, C sharp instead of C natural, major 3rd on it. And voicing wise, if you want it to be like kind of the simplest voicing possible, when you're going from C major 7, all you do is raise your major 7 down to a B flat. Just one note like that. All right? So we've played through basically one cycle of the song, right? Verse, pre-chorus, chorus, and the intro. And then we go back to we go just kind of jump right back into C major, even though we just played this dissonant A7 chord. And then you're so sweet, so tight. I won't bite unless you like. If you smoke, I got the haze. And if you're hungry, girl, I got fillets. Ooh, then this melody is a little bit different. Ooh, baby, don't keep me waiting. There's so much love we could be making. I'm talking, and then there's some hits here, some like this. I'm talking kissing, cuddling, rose petals in the bathtub, something like that. And then we do this thing again. Then back to E flat major 7. Girl, I ain't playing no games. Every word that I say is coming straight from the heart. We have our cool key change thing back to C major. It's a hard note for me to hit. Open, I'ma leave the door open. I'ma leave the door open, girl. I'ma leave the door open. Here's the build again. And you'll hear the background vocals actually sing these notes. That half step down from B to B flat. Now, went through 2 cycles now. At this point, we're at the bridge. And the bridge, I think, is where things are as daring as I've ever heard a pop song get. And, you know, this isn't an average pop song. Lots of Anderson .Paak and Bruno Mars songs will do stuff like this. So this is definitely not the first time either of them have taken this route with, like, chord changes and stuff. But it's the first song of theirs I've learned. So what are you going to do? So then we're sitting on this A7 here. How did I play it? Like this? Okay. Now, instead of just going back to that like we did before, they just go down a half step and start doing this la la la. So we're here. And then we just jump down. Major 7 chord. That you know, isn't... You know, it's actually sort of, we're still in C, but we're going back to C minor, because this is a C minor note, right? 6. Flat 6, though. Okay. So, if you want to change keys, but you don't want to be too, like, hardcore about it, there's these 3 notes that, like I said before, were these. We just lower all of them and build chords off of those. So that's the first chord. we have this melody like that. La 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 la. There's that sus chord again. Go back and forth. La 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 la. Then they change key down a half step or a whole step. So now we're in B flat, I guess. La 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 la. They just do that once. Then we have a build on this E flat sus chord. Na, 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 na. There's that same exact sus chord, just a half step up. Before we were here, we're just here now. And really, this could just be a riff. This could be a whole track, just going like. Parallel, nothing that follows any of like Bach's rules of music theory at all. But that's what makes this kind of sound cool. So now we're up a half step. And then Bruno sings an A sharp. Oh, I'ma leave the door open, baby. So now we're doing the exact same thing that we had before, but starting on an F sharp, which is the 4 chord still. We're just in C sharp major now instead of C major. I'ma leave the door open, girl. There we go. So everything's just up a half step. So if you remember how the first part went, you don't even need to watch this video anymore. But there's one more part, I guess. You can skip to some part later. I don't know where it is. Haven't edited this yet. Because we do this kind of cool up half step version of what we did before, and then we have another build. Same thing. That you feel the way I feel and you want me like I want you tonight, baby. Tell me how you're coming. But now we're in C sharp major again, as I've said 1,000 times by now. That thing again, same, and I'm doing the voicing the same just to make it, I don't know, consistent. And then they do their cool outro thing. So just like they had in the bridge, where we have a major 7 chord going down a half step to a sus chord, now we're doing that again, but we're starting on the minor 3rd of, or sorry, the minor 6 of the new key. La 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 la. Right, before we were here. La, 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 la. Yeah, like that. So now we're up here. But instead of just going back and forth like they did in the bridge, it just keeps moving. Okay, so now we're doing this. And we have this nice little major 7 resolution, just like they have at the end of every chorus. And it just keeps doing this. That till the cows come home. Vamp if you want. And who knows how they actually ended this in the studio, or if they just played it a few times, just stopped and faded it out. If you were going to end it and not do a fade out like they do in the song, there's a few very cheesy ways to do this. Here's one. You could go like, and just stop here. Sometimes I like to end songs on the major 4 chord instead, so you could also do this. Let's see what this sounds like. La, 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 la. Just this weird kind of suspended feeling where you're not really coming home, so to speak, to use a sort of traditional music theory term. But yeah, you have to pick a chord that you're going to stop on, and possibly there was just none of the chords felt right. So I'm curious how they're going to play this live. Maybe they'll just get quieter and quieter and quieter. But regardless, that's my best attempt at showing each of these sections and breaking it down a little bit. Hopefully the keyboard graphic at the bottom gave you a chance to kind of pause and try the chords out, or transfer them to another instrument if you're familiar with how the keyboard's laid out. But yeah, this is this song, just playing through this has taught me a lot. And if you check out Jeff Schneider's YouTube channel, you'll see him doing this at like 1,000 times higher level than what I just did. Maybe not this song, but if he does analyze it, I'd love to watch that. So Jeff, if you're watching, please, you know, do one of these, but better, like you normally do. And yeah, hopefully you enjoyed. Let me know in the comments if you want like the chord chart. I can make one and post it in the comments or in the info or whatever, however people do that. And I'm probably not going to make a lot of videos like this. So if you like this video, just enjoy liking it. And if you want to subscribe, you can. But I'm going to be posting remixes and maybe just me goofing around on bass or something. I don't know. This channel is too young to tell you what I'm going to do. So if you like this video, though, maybe I'll make more. Who knows? All right. Thanks for watching.